Hello, Forex traders. I hope you're all doing well. Today is the 14th of July 2025, and today we're going to take a look at how you can easily identify the butterfly pattern and trade them successfully. Okay, um, so butterfly pattern has 5-point structure. So you have your X, your A, your B, your C, your D. The difference between butterfly and the rest of the patterns, the rest of the harmonic patterns, is that the B leg is at precise 0.786 FIB retracement. Yeah. The other patterns are either 0.382 or 0.5 or 0.618. Yeah. So the butterfly has a precise B point at 0.786. It can exceed 0.786 plus 5%, okay, but must not touch the next FIB, which is 0.886. Okay, so the first thing we do is you identify an impulsive leg, which is our X to A. So to our left, we have I've written the instructions, the rules of the butterflies pattern. Okay, so we will follow this as we go along. So the first thing you do is identify your impulsive leg, which is your X to your A. Yeah. So this is the bearish pattern, which is W pattern. Yeah, or W formation. The M formation is the bullish pattern. Okay, so W pattern here. So the X to A is our impulsive leg, and then the B leg is our retracement, and the C leg is the pullback of the B, and then the D is the extension. Okay, is the completion of the pattern. So I take my FIB retracement. I go from my X, the start of the positive leg, to where it ended at A before we had the retracement to the upside. So the B leg, like I said, is at precise 0.786. It can exceed, but must not touch 0.886. Okay, so it can be plus 5%. All right. Then this pullback here to form the C leg must not cross our A. Okay, so let's say, for example, this leg here was that the retracement was that short, yeah, before it finally went to the upside. Yeah, so what we need to do to make sure that the C leg is valid is to take our FIB retracement again. You measure from your A to your B. This B retracement must touch 0.382 here, which is the first FIB. Yeah, it can exceed 0.382, 0.5, 0.618, 0.786, 0.886, but must not go below the A. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So this leg here must touch 0.382 to be valid pattern. Yeah, but must not close below A. So that is the C leg. So we don't need the FIB retracement no more. So for the D leg, what we need to do is you take the FIB extension, you measure from A, you plot from A to X, back to A. So the number that we need for the D leg is at 1.272. So for butterfly, the D leg completes at 1.272. Okay, so this is where we look to sell. All right, so this is 1.272 FIB extension of X to A. All right, so this is the first criteria that we need to follow. So all these are met. All right, so as the price is heading to the D completion, this will be the time that you will plot your X to A leg. Okay, and then the other thing that you need to do to validate the pattern is to take your FIB extension, you plot from C leg to B back to C. We need three numbers to align closely to D. Yeah, we need just one of those three numbers. The numbers that we need are 1.618, which is the minimum number for the BC leg projection, BC projection leg. We also need 2.0 and 2.24. Okay, so one of these numbers is the number that we need that would be at the low below the D completion, so below 1.272. Okay, as you can see, 1.618 is the number that is below our 1.272 D completion leg. The other two numbers, 2 and 2.24, are above. Sorry, the 2 is just below the D, and the 2.24 is above. So the 2.24 number is the number that we don't need. Okay, so I'll just get rid of the 2.24, and I'll get rid of the 1.618, and then we'll use the 2.0 number that is just below the D completion. Okay, so this is how you measure your butterfly patterns. To take profit, you take a FIB retracement and you go from A to D completion, and then you've got two take profits. One is at 0.382 and the second is at 0.618. All right, so this is your butterfly pattern in short. All right, so let's go to the chart and I'll show you this pattern on a chart. So this is a bearish one. As you can clearly see, we have this W pattern right here. Yeah, we have this W pattern here. Okay, so the W's won't be exact W. Yeah, but obviously if you turn your eyes, you will be able to spot a W and M formation on your chart. Okay, so this is my impulsive leg. This right here is my impulsive leg. Okay, and this would be, so this right here would be my X, and my A, is right here. Yeah, so we have, so now I'm going to use my FIB retracement. I will plot from the start of the impulsive leg, which is the X, to A, where it's terminated. Okay, the B leg we say is at precise 0.786, and if you take a look, this is our 0.786, and with the price tapped the 0.86, and then it rejected the number and then we pulled back. Okay, so for our C leg, so let's donate this as our B leg right there. So for our C leg, is right there. So for the C leg, what we need to do is we need to take our FIB retracement again. You measure from your A to your B, yeah, to your B, and as you can clearly see, this pullback here touched the 382, which is our yellow FIB, our yellow line, the first FIB. So this pullback qualifies, okay, and it did not break below A. So the C is valid, all right? So that's our C. So once you start seeing this rally to the upside, yeah, and then we break above the B right here and closed, this is when you start to look for where your D would terminate. Okay, so what you do then is you take the FIB extension, you measure from A to X, back to A, and the number that we need to take the trade is at 1.272 because that is where the D completes on the butterfly harmonic pattern. Okay, 1.272. So the price rallied and then rejected the 1.272. Okay, FIB extension. So the next thing that we need to do is to measure our BC leg. Again, you grab the FIB extension, you go from C to B, back to C, and we say that we need three numbers and one of them must align closely to the D completion. So we need three numbers and the numbers are 1.618, 2.0, and 2.24. Okay, so the number, one of these numbers, any of them that is closest to the D leg is the number that we take. Okay, and for this example, 1.618 was the number that closed below the 1.272, the D completion. So the rest of the numbers, we get rid of them, we don't need them. Okay, so this was your pattern completed. So I'll just plot that for you. So you have your X to A to B to C and to D completion. All right. So to take profits, you take your FIB retracement, you measure from A to where it completed at the D leg, and then your two take profits are, the first one is at 0.382, and the second one is at 0.618. So both take profits were smashed. Okay, all right. So I am actually on a sell trade using the same butterfly pattern. So this is GBP USD on the weekly time frame, and I am actually sell. I think before the video started, I was making 260, I think 261 to 62 pips in profit. Okay, and I'll show you the trade, and I'll do the measurement with you right now. Okay, so I'm gonna delete this. We don't need this. I'm delete that. I don't want too many lines on the chart. Sorry, so this was the decompletion right there. I forgot to use that. Okay, so I identified this leg as my impulsive leg to the downside. Okay, so this is my X to my A. All right, so that's my X and that's my A. So I use the FIB retracement. I go from my X to the A, and we said that the B leg is at, so I'm trying to grab my B. So the B leg is at 0.786, yeah, which is right here, this line there, 0.786, yeah. So we went up and then we rejected right here. So I said the 0.86 can be plus 5%, yeah, but must not touch 886. So we touched and rejected the 0.786, and then we retraced up to here, okay, before we then rallied up. So what we then do to identify the C leg is we grab the FIB retracement, we measure from A to B where it's ended. As you can see, the C leg here, we had a pullback that touched the 382, which is a valid C leg, and we did not close below A, or we did not break below A. So this C leg is valid. Okay, so put a C right there. Oops, sorry. So put a C right there. So that is our C leg. Okay, so now the next step is to measure, is to wait for our D leg to complete. So when the price was rallying up, what I did was I waited for a break above the B, which is right, this candle there. So once I saw that, then I measured my D completion leg. So I took the FIB extension, I plotted from the A to the X back to A, and we said we need 1.272 FIB extension level as the D completion of this pattern. Okay, so price got to the D leg, and then we rejected. Okay, so that's the D leg right there. So the next thing that I did is take the FIB retrace extension. You measure from C to B, back to C, and we said we need one number from the three numbers, which are 1.618, 2.0, and 2.24. So we need a number that aligns closely to the D completion. So the three numbers are 1.618, 2.0, and 2.24. So the number we need is the number that closes below the D. This time it is 2. So we pick the 2 and get rid of the other two numbers. Okay. So to take profits, actually I'll show you. So I'll go drop down to 4-hour time frame, and then I'll show you where I took the trade. So we just I'll just plot the lines for you. So that is our X, our A, our B, our C, and then our D completion right there. So to take your profit, you take the FIB retracement, you go from A to where it completed, and then your first take profit is at 0.382, which I always do. I only take one take profit. I do not go for second take profits. Yeah. So this is where my profit is at 0.382. So let's drop down to 4-hour time frame and I'll show you where I took the trade. So we had the completion right there. Yeah. So I waited for confirmation and we had this so we had this push to the downside, we put back. So once I saw a break and close here, which was below a close below the previous low, that was when I took the trade. So I took the trade right here. I went short right there, and then so like I said at the beginning, beginning of this video, I checked it was 261 pips. I think it was somewhere here. Yeah, so yeah, it was 263. Yeah, and my take profit is right here at this red line. So I'm going for 615 pips. Yeah, about 600 pip profits. So yeah, still a long way to go. But this is a trade. All right. So this is butterfly pattern in short. I hope this video was well, I hope it was easy for you to understand. Any questions, drop me a line, and I'll be happy to answer. Yes, stay tuned. I will make videos of the rest of the other harmonic patterns. I've done Gatly, I've done the bat. So yeah, stay tuned, and then I'll do the rest of the patterns. All right. Thank you, and trade safely. Bye now.